What's happening, Hardscapers? Today we're going to talk about when to not use paver base panels for your paver project. Let's get into this. This is a question that's been presented to me in our comments on paver base panel videos. So I figured I'd make a full-length video of the 7 different applications where I and you should probably not be using paver base panels. Really quick, paver base panels are compressed high-density polypropylene sheets. They spread out the load over a wider area. They also insulate the ground, so it's perfect for our climate where we experience a lot of freeze-thaw cycles. Our oldest project is more than 7 years at this point, still looks amazing to this day. Starting with number 1, first and foremost, paver base panels are rated for pedestrian applications. They are not rated for vehicular applications. That means you're not going to be using them for driveways. Now there is another product on the market very similar, but it's a little bit more sturdy, and you can use those for driveway applications, but I have not yet. So I can't speak to how well it does hold up. Hopefully in the future we'll be able to use those, but for now we're just going to be talking about the paver base panels for pedestrian applications. The next application would be when the organic material is deeper than what your excavation depth for a paver base panel application would be. And that's because you need to get all of that organic material out before you start to build up the base for any paver project. So if our paver base panel excavation depth is around 4.5 inches. If our topsoil is actually deeper than those 4.5 inches, we should opt likely for a traditional or an open graded base. Just because the main benefit to paver base panels is not needing to excavate as much, which will save you money there. But once you're going more than what those 4.5 inches are for a paver base panel base, you're not getting the same benefit of saving money for that project. And if you have questions about any of those base types or anything throughout this video, we're going to have links in the description below for those specific videos if you want to learn more about a traditional or dense graded base or an open graded base and the differences. So what I like to do is dig some test holes before I actually quote that we might do a paver base panel project. That way, when we get to the job and we start excavating, we're not running into the situation of we quoted this project for paver base panels, but topsoil is much deeper than we thought, and we're going to need to actually use a dense graded or open graded base for this project. When you're excavating, you want to get down to the subsoil. That's a clay, sand, silty mixture, and you want to compact that and build on top of that for your project. And that gives you a solid foundation. Organic materials are not structural, so they will degrade over time, and that'll cause problems to your foundation. The next application we would not use paver base panels is in a raised patio application, and that's just because we're already building up, so we do have void space in our raised patio for enough material to cover our minimum base depth for any paver project. So it doesn't make sense to do a typical paver base depth along with our paver base panels. The benefits of saving money on the project is just not there with it. Additionally, I just really like open graded base for raised patio applications, not dense graded base. We've done a video on that before and why it likely doesn't make sense to use a dense graded base for a raised patio. So once again, raised patios, I'm likely using an open graded base for that. The next application would be a swimming pool, and swimming pools especially typically come with multiple slopes away from that swimming pool in all directions, as well as away from a house foundation. So if we're not installing channel drains on that project, you're getting into a lot of different slopes, and that becomes difficult with paver base panels because of the area that they take up. And to add on top of that, especially when you're using slabs, which also take up a larger footprint, it just doesn't play well with those paver base panels in multiple slope applications. If you're using smaller pavers, you might get away with it, but I still like the idea of being able to manipulate our bedding material to be able to accommodate those multiple slopes. Otherwise, in some corners of those larger slabs, you're going to get high and low points that exceed what the industry usually allows for. Next would be wood burning fire pits. So we've used paver base panels for gas fire features. That's worked amazing, incredible. Just building our fire pit right on top of those paver base panels, because you can up to 18 inches install wall block on top of them. Now, if your patio is sloped, you'll want to add a little bit of concrete sand on top of those paver base panels, because those paver base panels, when you install them, will follow that slope, but add a little bit of concrete sand to make that wall block level, install your first course, and build it on up. works perfect. However, for wood burning fire pits, that's going to introduce a lot of fire to those paver base panels, which is not good for them, and likely not good for yourself either. But what if you want to use paver base panels to save your labor and your time and possibly even the client a little bit of money on that project, but you also want that wood burning fire pit? Well, typically you can leave a little bit of a gap around your fire pit, say 3 feet in all directions. Prepare the normal base there, whether it's open or dense graded base, and then install your paver base panels up to that base. That way you have a good perimeter around that fire pit for heat to not melt your paver base panels under your pavers. Second to last application for me personally would be if it's more expensive for our clients. So we're using paver base panels in applications that we can't get machine into the backyard very easily. It's a small project, so maybe we're going to hand dig it. And this is more so for cities, larger cities, where access is really not that great. Of course, if you're listening to this elsewhere and you have tons of access and you don't run into those problems, well, that's just much better for you. But in our applications, sometimes we just can't get equipment into the backyard for an install, which leads us to paver base panels. And instead of having to dig a traditional or open graded base full depth, we can save more than half of our excavation by using paver base panels and saving our clients money. Or in larger cities, it just costs a lot of money to dispose of material. It's becoming more and more difficult to get rid of soil. Once again, you might not experience this in smaller cities, but in larger cities, we're experiencing this more and more, and the cost of disposal is only increasing. So it's a quick calculation of seeing whether or not it is suitable to use paver base panels to reduce your excavation by more than half, still get a quality project, but save you a lot of labor and time and disposal of soil and bringing in gravel to fill that full excavation depth. We've done a video on that comparing the two. You can check that out as well in the description below. And finally, the last one, and this will depend, but for a project that we're installing where there is an adjacent project right next to it that we're bumping up to it, say a driveway and we're doing a front walkway, or there's already a concrete patio that we're saving in the backyard and we're building right next to it an extension with pavers, we like to match that base material with whatever was used there, whether it was dense graded or open graded. We like to match that. And that's just a personal preference. And I definitely have projects where we've used paver base panels for a front walkway up against a asphalt driveway where it was a dense graded base that was installed. But usually that's a lift and relay. So something has happened where we need to come in and we can either replace that entire base or we can save our client a little bit of money and install a paver base panel base, and they still get a really nice result from that. So that's where I kind of decide whether or not to go a paver base panel route or match what other base was used in that existing project that we're butting up to. And those are the 7 applications where we will not use paver base panels. Speaking specifically for paver projects, you also don't want to exceed the bearing load capacity of these paver base panels, say for a hot tub base or a shed base and so on there. But like I said, anything that we touched on in this video, if we didn't address it in great detail through this, you can check it out in the description below with links to every video that we have on this channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.